What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Guys, if you want to join my Wealth Builders financial community on Patreon, you know what to do. Get down in the description box, click on that first link in the description box, which is the Wealth Builders financial community on Patreon link. It's going to take you over to Patreon, and you can then go ahead and sign up and join the fastest growing financial community on Patreon. We'll call the Wealth Builders. Man, we got about 2,000 wealth builders in our financial community, and all we do in that community, man, is help each other build wealth. We all trying to get to that elusive financial freedom thing. And listen, man, we need help to do that. Nobody wants to be out here in the matrix by themselves trying to do this thing all on their own, man. Especially, man, when we got all kind of stuff happening right now in the stock market, all kind of stuff happening right now in our economy, right? This thing is going to get tricky. So unless you got somebody that you can bounce ideas off of and ask questions. Of course, none of us are experts in the wealth builders, right? I'm not an expert. I'm just a regular guy here trying to play it forward, right? I'm just trying to play it forward. I'm just trying to help those that have helped me. So if y'all looking to do that, man, get yourself down in the description box, first link, click on that Patreon link, which is the Wealth Builders. Well, guys, I want to give a quick shout out to CoreWeave. Some of y'all know that I've planted seeds in CoreWeave, and I got to tell you, man, things are starting to change rapidly with CoreWeave, in my opinion, right? Now, if you go back to June, and I would say the middle of June, CoreWeave hit $185 per share. This was like the middle of June. I'm thinking like June 18th. You guys go back and fact check it and take a look at it, but it had reached an all-time high, man. And over the last month, it has pulled back significantly. Right now, as of close on last Friday, I believe it closed at $123 per share. Now you go from $185 a share to $123 a share. You also have an analyst come out and say that they believe the stock will drop even further. And they're basing this on, concentration of their revenues coming from really one big client. And they say that one big client is Microsoft. You guys got to get out there and do your own homework, just like I had to do. Of course, this is not financial advice. This is not me trying to tell you whether to buy or not buy CoreWeave. I'm just giving you my opinion and giving you just the little research that I've done. But I got to tell you, man, it's very, very, very shocking to me, because of course I've planted seeds and I've gotten some harvests. But right now, I'm a little scared to even mess with this thing. To be honest with you, I'm scared to even mess with CoreWeave, because I'm thinking, what if this thing implodes and goes down to $30 a share, like one of these analysts said they believe it will go down to? And you're talking about, at that price, that's not even the price it was when it IPO'd back in March. It IPO'd back in March at what, $40 a share? And then it went down to around 32. And then boom, 4 months later, that thing was $185 a share. I thought it was going to $200 per share at one point. Now, another thing you got to understand is this stock, when it IPO'd, they did not make all of the shares available at IPO. Also, you had some restrictions on some of the early investors. Some of your early investors could not just simply cash in when this stock started to moving upward. They had some clauses in their, I guess in their purchase agreement of the shares pre-IPO, because you remember a lot of people invested in CoreWeave before it IPO'd. So some of those expiration dates on when people can actually, some of the early investors can actually start selling their shares have expired. So a lot of these folks, they can start selling their shares. And what happens when you add more shares? What does that do to the existing shares, guys, when you're able to add more shares? You dilute the existing shares. They're not worth as much. Let me just give you an example. Let's say that I was an early investor prior to IPO, and let's say I owned 100,000 shares that I bought at a favorable price. And in order for them to, do that deal with me, they required that I wait 6 months after IPO before I could sell my shares. That's just a hypothetical example, but that's sort of what a lot of people are saying, that these early investors are now starting to exercise their right to sell shares. When you add more shares to the already existing supply of shares, you have more supply than potentially you have demand. And y'all know how that song goes. When you have too much supply and you got little demand, what happens to prices? They go down. When you have more demand than you have supply, prices go up. So a lot of people are saying that is one of the things that's happening right now with CoreWeave. You got more supply than you have demand. Now, the other thing you got to think about is, and I don't know when this will happen or if it's already happened, but NVIDIA owns 24 million shares of this CoreWeave stock. Nobody knows if NVIDIA has already exercised the right to sell those shares, or if they'll be doing that in the near future. My opinion is this, and again, guys, this is not financial advice. I'm not an expert. I'm not trying to be an analyst. I'm not trying to tell you NVIDIA has sold their shares, because I don't know. I'm just telling you hypothetically, if they were to sell their shares, what would that do? I believe that would be a negative, which in turn would drive down the stock price even further. Case in point, remember when NVIDIA sold its shares of SoundHound AI? Remember when NVIDIA sold their shares of Serve Robotics? What happened in the short term to those stocks? They went down in value. Now, did they recover somewhat? Yes, but I still have not seen Serve Robotics get to $24 a share again, like it did when NVIDIA was actually a shareholder. I have not seen SoundHound AI get back in that $20 to $24 range either, like when NVIDIA was a shareholder in SoundHound AI. So all I'm saying, guys, is CoreWeave, in my opinion, now I'm just giving you my little 2 cents, non-expert opinion, I think it's a good company. But again, they do not make any revenue right now. They don't make any revenue. So we have to be careful of that. Since they don't make revenue, anything can happen, right? Of course, they still make, they make revenue. I apologize. I didn't mean to say they make revenue. They don't make any profit. They make revenue. So I take that back. They make profit. Here I go again. They make revenue, but they don't make any profit yet. Go look at the financial statements. My apologies for that mishap there. But my point here is it's still a company that's trying to find its way. I'm trying to get myself out of this sun here, guys. They still are a company that's trying to find their way. That's my point. They're still trying to find their way, guys. So until they become profitable, they're going to be subject to a lot of shenanigans. I believe also there are a lot of short positions on this stock as well. And again, guys, this is not financial advice. This is not me trying to be a financial advisor or some expert here. I just go out and do research, right? I go out and do research. And when I go do my research, I read various articles of experts, people that do this for a living. I read their articles, and all I'm doing is regurgitating to you what I perceived I read in the article. So you got to go out and do your own research, and then you got to come to the conclusion how you feel about CoreWeave. But for me right now, it's a no bueno. It's a no-go. It's a no-go right now for me. I'm going to sit on the sideline right now and let this thing work itself out, because I don't want to be caught with my pants down, because guess what's going to happen? If NVIDIA indeed sells its shares, you're not going to know that until it's published, because see, NVIDIA doesn't have to disclose that they sold their shares to the SEC. I believe they have to do it within 30 to 45 days. And then once they disclose that, the SEC makes it public record. The problem is, if NVIDIA indeed sells their shares and you don't know it for 30 days or 45 days, and all of a sudden it's made public record and you don't have time to react, and if this thing responds negatively to NVIDIA selling its shares, then you're going to be stuck like Chuck. Just my opinion, guys, not financial advice. You got to make your own decision on what you believe is the best thing for you and your family. I'm not trying to make a decision for you. I'm just giving you the thought process that I've taken myself through so that I understand what I need to do as it relates to my ability to want to buy this particular stock. The question is, long term, will it be a winner? I don't have the answer to that question. All I know right now is what is fact. Fact is the stock price was $188 a share. Fact is, as of last Friday, it closed at $123 a share. So fact is that the stock price is down over $60 per share. That's a fact, Jack. That's not Richard Fain telling you this. That's not me coming up with something. That's a fact. That's public record. So all I'm saying is you should certainly be careful and make sure you do your due diligence and your homework to make sure if this is a company you're considering, you understand the upside and the downside. That's all I'm saying. You would want to go out and do some homework so that you can understand the upside and the downside, because right now, from my perspective, my opinion is there's some short-term downside. I'm not sure if it'll be long-term or not, but for right now, there is some short-term downside. That's the reason why I'm not planting any seeds. I'm going to shift my direction elsewhere. Drop me some comments, man, and let me know what y'all think about what's going on with CoreWeave. Do you think, the trend that's not your friend right now is going to continue? Or do you believe the trend will turn around and become your friend again? You have to figure that one out. Right now, short term, I don't believe the trend is my friend, just by looking at what the stock price has done over the last month. The trend is not my friend, so I'm gonna steer my ship to a different direction and see what else is out there for me, and make sure I put myself in a position where I can win and win big long term. Nothing's guaranteed, nothing's promised to you. Investing in any asset carries a certain level of risk. So make sure, if you're not comfortable making your own financial decisions as it relates to paper assets, you go out and get yourself some professional help. Maybe you go out and get yourself a licensed financial advisor to help you out make decisions, make the tough decisions as it relates to these big boy blue chip paper assets, because we're in tricky territory right now, guys. The markets are at all-time highs. You got an S&P 500 that is at all-time highs. You got a NASDAQ that's at all-time highs. And then you got a Dow that's headed to all-time highs. So for me, I'm always cautious when the market is just going crazy and there are some underlying potential issues that I see. I'm still not sold that inflation is not going to spike upward, because I still believe the tariffs, this tariff tax at some point is going to kick in and increase prices. Now, that's my opinion. That don't mean that's true. It may never kick in. But for right now, that's my opinion. My opinion is we still haven't seen the full brunt of tariffs yet, and I think they're coming. So I'm going to tread lightly. I'm going to be very cautious. And I'm going to kind of, continue to dibble and dabble. But I'm not going to overcommit to anything until I get a better indication of what happens. One thing I do know, at least in my opinion, for doing this over the last 30 years, the market doesn't go up forever. It doesn't go up forever. And we've been on a pretty good tear lately. So the only thing I can think about personally is, when will we be hit with some type of pullback? Now, we may not get one anytime soon. I don't know. And the only way I protect myself from that is just through dollar cost averaging into my favorite companies and my favorite ETFs, right? I just dollar cost average in to try to always be in the market. But if I got extra money that I'm trying to deploy short term, then right now is not an opportunity for me to deploy all of my cash, because, in the short term game, I don't want to deploy all of my cash in the short term gain, and the day I deploy it all, we get bad news and this thing pull back 10 or 15%. I'm not worried about that in the long-term portfolio, because, I'm just dollar cost averaging in, whether it's up, down, sideways, and I'm going to do that for the next 9 years. So I don't worry about it in the long-term portfolio. But in my short-term portfolio that I'm trying to, FCF that thing, I don't want to get caught with my pants down all in the game, and then all of a sudden we get a curveball from the administration, or we get a curveball from any type of financial data, and then all of a sudden the big boys decide overnight they want to pull out through dark pools or some other old shenanigans they be pulling. I don't want to be caught up in that. So I got to be careful. I'm going to tread lightly. I'm going to continue my dollar cost averaging, no matter if the market's up or down, because that's the long-term wealth building strategy for me, Richard Fain. I don't know about for you, but for me, that's my long-term wealth building strategy. So I want to continue to do that and do more of it. So I'm just trying to have a conversation with you guys about CoreWeave and let you know the reasons why I'm not going to be buying CoreWeave right now. That don't mean you can't. You go do whatever you want to. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. My recommendation, if you have problems making decisions about your own financial situation when it comes to paper assets, please go get yourself some professional help. Please go get your financial advisor, a licensed financial advisor who can advise you, because I'm not one. But if you're a type of person that likes making their own decisions, you like being with other people that enjoy making their own decisions, and not trying to be an expert, hey man, consider joining the Wealth Builders on Patreon. Man, we got over 2,000 folks in our financial community. None of us are experts. All of us are comfortable making our own decisions, and we take ownership for those decisions. But the neat thing about it is we can bounce ideas off of each other. Every single day the market is open, we're bouncing ideas off of each other and trying to figure out what's right for us. And it's nice to be able to have a couple thousand people who are doing the same thing and headed in the same direction, which is financial freedom and passive income. So if you want to be a part of that community, drop yourself down in that description box to the first link, which is the Wealth Builders Financial Community Patreon link, and come be a part of our team. We're there every single day, encouraging one another, helping one another. No one's trying to be experts. No one is an expert. We all take ownership of our own financial decisions, but it's really, really nice when someone is dropping articles and things like that of some stocks that I may have never thought of. Matter of fact, this morning, one of the wealth builders dropped an article about CoreWeave, which prompted me to read that article, do a little bit more homework, and then boom, I dropped this video based on that one piece of information that I got from a wealth builder. So that's the fantastic part about having a financial community like the wealth builders is, man, I don't have to be the know-it-all. I can depend on some other people to do research and drop best practices and nuggets and tips and the best practices all in the community chat and on the forum. So if y'all want to be a part of that, like I said, get down to that first link to that description box, which is the wealth builders, and come join our team, and then send me a DM and introduce yourself, and let's go to work. Well, appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna get on out of here. I just wanted to spend a few minutes and give y'all my insight and my opinion on CoreWeave. It's not a professional opinion. It's not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you why I'm not buying it. You don't have to listen to anything I gotta say because I'm not a professional. You go get you a professional and have them give you their recommendation on CoreWeave. I can't give out any recommendations. I can only tell you what I'm not gonna do, and I've told you why I'm not gonna do it. So drop me some comments down in the comment box. Let me know what you think about CoreWeave. Does it reverse itself and go back up, or do you believe it continues going down? Drop them in the comment box. Like I said, don't forget about them wealth builders. Come check your boy out. Come check the wealth builders out. First link in the description box. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing, share the video, smash the like button. Thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.